guys, welcome back. So hopefully you guys are having a great day. Today's video is going to be a combination of a review plus swatches and part of the series that I was talking to you guys about my last video about the must-have or not, from drugstore items to high-end products. So I kind of decided to just go ahead and combine it. And yeah, so how about we just get the ball rolling with this review. So the palette that I'm talking about is the Amrezy palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills that came out, I want to say, I don't know if it's a couple of weeks ago or about a month ago. I'm not quite sure, but I say I'm not quite sure because I actually just purchased mine this past weekend. I picked it up at Ulta, and yeah, it looks like this. It has the same concept as the Anastasia Beverly Hills Catwalk, which I have right here, and if you guys can see, it's pretty much kind of the same concept. The Amrezy palette is based, or I guess inspired, or I don't know how to kind of explain it, but in Instagram, on Instagram, if you follow her, she is a gorgeous, talented makeup artist, and I've been following her for such a long time. I think I started following her when she had, like, seriously, like maybe 10K followers, and now she's like 1.1 million followers. So that's how long I've been following her, but of course it didn't take her that long to get so many subscribers, or I shouldn't say subscribers, followers on Instagram, because she is just that talented. She is amazing. She is a great inspiration. So I decided to purchase her her palette. So let's get started with the price. This palette is $29, which is great because, I mean, it's exactly the same price as the Catwalk, and I believe it has the same amount of shadows, 10 of them. So this is the Catwalk one, and I do have a review on this one on here on my channel. I will try to link the video down below if you guys want to check it out. But it's pretty much the same kind of concept because it has the little makeup palette, has the same thing. It opens up, it has the mirror right here, and then you can kind of flip it back. It's a little bit harder than that one, but it's a little bit more sturdy, I think, than this one. So it also has the 10 eyeshadows, and it has a mixture of, it has a perfect mixture of neutrals, shimmer, and then two bold eyeshadows up here. So I'm gonna go through each one of them and show you guys swatches, just like I did with the Anastasia Catwalk palette when I first did the review on that. I believe that this is perfect for a beginner. If you are starting with your makeup kit and you just want a little bit of everything, a little mixture, this is a great palette for that. And the colors, or the shades, are so gorgeous. I love them. I wasn't sure if I was going to purchase it, but I hit Ulta this past weekend and I swatched all the shadows, and I just completely fell in love with it. So I had to have it, and for $29 it's definitely worth it. I mean, everything on this palette is amazing. The shades are beautiful, so I will show you guys swatches. I will start at the top, and what I love about this palette is that it has all the names in here, not like the Anastasia one. You actually had to look behind the box to know the name of them. So that's what I didn't like about the Anastasia one, but this one, the Amrezy one, it does have the names here, which I love, and it comes with a little dual brush like mostly all palettes do, and it's just very great quality on the brushes, so that's a plus. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start with a Legend, which is the top row, the first one right here, and this is just your typical like, I don't know, highlight shadow. This kind of reminds me of MAC's Nylon, and except for this one's a little bit, I believe that this one's a little bit more yellow. And this one is Legend, and like I said, it's a little bit more yellow. I wish I had Nylon with me right here so I can compare it, but believe me when I tell you, it's pretty much exactly the same thing, except this one, it has a little bit more yellow to it, and it's just beautiful. I love it. It's just the pigmentation in these shadows are amazing. So the next one we're going to move on to is Glisten, and it's right here. And I don't personally know which one to compare it with, but from what I heard from other Instagrammers or YouTubers, I should say, that Glisten reminds them of Honey Love from MAC. I don't know because I don't own Honey Love, so I really can't say for sure. But I do tell you, Glisten is a very beautiful rose gold, and it is just so pretty. It looks so amazing on the lids. I will show you guys 2 looks that I did this past weekend using a couple of her or a couple of the shadows on this palette. And they are just very pigmented, and that is what I am loving about this palette. So the next one is Topaz or Topaz. I don't know how you would want to say it. It is just a very bronzy taupe color shade, and that one's right here. So as you guys can see, they're very shimmery, they're very beautiful. I love them, and like I said, very pigmented. I just swatched it once with my finger, and then I just swiped it on my hand. So as you guys can see, they are very, very pigmented. So the next one is going to be Iridescent Purple, which is one of my favorites. I truly love this one. This is gorgeous, and it's just pretty much iridescent purple. That's what it is. It's nothing I mean, at least I cannot compare it to anything else. I'm sure there is eyeshadows out there that you guys can compare to, but right now all I'm gonna say is that it is an iridescent purple, just like how it says it on the palette. So there is Iridescent Purple, and it's just a beautiful gorgeous color. Next one is Emerald, which, just like it says, it's an emerald green, I should say. This one says emerald, but it is an emerald green, and it is gorgeous. So I did a look with this particular one this past weekend, and I will link a picture. I will post a picture so you guys can check it out. The shades that were picked out for this palette, freaking amazing. That's all I can say. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the bottom row, and I'm gonna start off with Vanilla, which is a white shadow with the sheen. It's definitely not completely matte, but it does have a sheen to it. So I can't really compare it to any eyeshadow yet. I really have to look into all my shadows that I have and see what I can compare it with. But this is Vanilla, and it does have a sheen to it. It's not completely matte. At least in my eyes, it is not completely matte. But I really do love it. It is gorgeous. Okay. So the next shadow here in the palette is Caramel, and this one definitely has to be one of my favorites. Caramel and Morocco are definitely two of my favorites for transition and crease colors. They are just perfect. I love them so much. But let me swatch Caramel first for you guys so you guys can see what I'm talking about. It is just so pretty. And this one I could compare to something. So I'm going to go ahead and compare it to MAC's Saddle. It looks very, very similar to it. And I do have MAC's Saddle right here, and I will kind of show you guys what I'm talking about. This one is Caramel, and the bottom one is Saddle. So it's pretty darn close to it. I think maybe Saddle is a little bit more on the, maybe a little tiny bit more on the darker side. And if you guys can see, this is Caramel and this is Saddle. So pretty similar. Okay, so let's move on to Morocco. And here is Morocco. That's the other one that I was telling you guys that it's another one of my favorites. Oopsie, excuse the nail. I guess my nail polish kind of just chipped off. Okay, so let's move on to Morocco, and let me show you guys a swatch of Morocco. If I can get that here. Okay, and this one I can say that it is a totally similar shade to MAC's Brown Script. And this is Morocco. And this right here, I'm going to show you guys. Morocco right there, and Brown Script. So, it's to me, it's pretty much, it's very similar. It's not exactly the same thing, obviously, but if you guys can see it, this one right here is brown script. This one is Morocco. So it's not extremely the same thing, but it's very similar. We are going to move on to Deep Plum, which is right here. Now, Deep Plum, from what I heard, and don't quote me, I heard that it is very similar. If you want to compare it to MAC Shadow, it is very similar to Embark. I don't own Embark, but this one right here is Deep Plum, which is just a beautiful dark plummy eyeshadow. The last one is LBD, which I believe, I'm not sure if I'm not sure, well, it is actually the Anastasia one. If you guys can see, the Anastasia one right here, it says the Catwalk, it says that it's LBD, but this one from the Catwalk is so much darker than the LBD in the Amrezy palette. And I will show you guys this LBD from the Amrezy. I don't know why, it just, I don't know, it's not as pigmented, I shouldn't say pigment, it's not as dark black as the, I don't know how to explain it, as the Anastasia one. And actually, you know what, I take that back, they're pretty similar. They're pretty much the same thing, so I should take that back. Now that one is pretty much the same as Carbon, and it's just your matte black shadow. So this one right here is Carbon, and this one right here is LBD. So either or, I mean, this one's from the Catwalk, and this one's from the Catwalk, and this one is from the Amrezy palette, and this one's Carbon. So it's pretty much the same thing. They have your typical Carbon, your typical matte black in there. So, yeah, pretty much, these are the shades from the Amrezy. I definitely recommend it, and if you ask me, it's definitely a must-have because it is beautiful. Like I said, it has your neutrals, your shimmers, your two bold shades. Any beginner would really need to have this. I mean, they don't have to, but they would definitely need to have this. Or if you're just like a palette collector, eyeshadow palette collector, seriously, like, pick this one up. It is a beautiful, it's gorgeous, and you could come up with so many different looks just from this palette, just like any other palette. But I don't know, there's something about these shades that I love so much, and I have been using it since I purchased it. So for $29 for 10 shadows, it is great. You're gonna get one MAC eyeshadow for $15. So I say, yeah, why not? Go get it. It's a must-have. I mean, and like I said, for $29, why not? It's totally worth the price when I say that these shadows are very beautiful, very creamy, very buttery, and very pigmented. So I would definitely recommend anybody out there to get this palette. So anyways, guys, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will try to link some of the things down below. Until next time, guys, bye!